After doing over 40 interviews for Unleash Success, I'm often asked, Corey, what is it that makes a person successful? Are there any common traits or themes or characteristics? Is there something that I can do to become more successful? And in today's episode, I'm going to tell you 3 common things that I see every successful person really embrace and how you can develop them so that you can become more successful yourself.
Welcome to the Unleash Success Podcast, where we break down the secrets of success to give you real tools and strategies that get real results. And now, here's your host, Corey Corpodian.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Unleash Success. Really quick, if you're listening to this, I want to reach out to each and every one of you personally. One of the biggest ways that we get this podcast out to other people is by sharing it, by rating it on iTunes, and subscribing to it on iTunes. If you're listening to this right now, I would love it if you could stop, go subscribe, go rate and review it. 5 stars always helps, but I would love your honest opinion. And seriously, if you want to reach out to me, tell me what you think about the show. That would mean so much to me. I engage with people regularly, and I would love to hear from you. Now, in today's episode, what I'm really going to focus on is some of the common traits that I've seen over interviewing all these people over the last year. You know, I've interviewed people who have built million to even billion-dollar businesses. People have been successful in everything from selling desk chairs to, Quest bars with Tom Bilyeu, that was pretty incredible, to creating workout routines for women who, are mothers and busy, and even people who are public speakers and built karate studios. I mean, all these people, so many different pathways to success, but what's the commonalities? What are some common themes that people express on this pathway to success? Now, there's a lot of different pathways to success, and I want to be clear. You don't have to pick the same one. You could be a doctor, a lawyer, you could be an entrepreneur, you could be an artist, an actor, an actress, you could be a musician, anything you want to be. And each career path, each path that you choose has lots of different ways to get you all the way to the top, to get you to where you want to be successful. So in order to make sure that you are successful along any path you choose, we've got to embrace 3 key traits that I've seen every successful person truly live by. And the first one is you've got to believe in yourself. As cliche as that sounds, guys, I can't express to you enough how strong beliefs are. Because if you believe in what you're doing, if you truly believe that what you're doing you can accomplish, that you're capable of doing it, it dramatically changes the amount of action you even take. There's studies that show that insurance agents that believe they're going to get a sale on that day actually work harder, and guess what? They close 30% more sales just by believing that they can. I mean, how would that change your life? I'll give you an example. All my life, people always like to tell me no. I was shorter than the average kid. I was born premature. I was smaller than the average kid. And I wanted to play sports. I wanted to play basketball, not very tall. I didn't care. I wanted to play football. Wasn't very big. I was probably like 67 pounds soaking wet when I first started playing football. And I was going against guys that were almost twice my size. But, my dad said, Corey, if you work hard enough, you can do anything. As long as you believe that you can do it, you can do it. And that belief was one of the reasons I was successful at sports in high school. And then I'll never forget how that belief shifted into my life in general, where, going to school, getting an education, becoming valedictorian in high school, and then going off to dental school. Like, it was all coming down to what I believed I was capable of. And I see that in every single person I interview. They believe so strongly in what they're doing. They believe so passionately about it that they will do anything to get there. And listen, you know what? Sometimes they don't even know where they're going. Sometimes they just believe that this is the path that they should be on. So if you're not sure what you want to do in life, if you're not sure where you should be going, if this is the right thing, just believe that you can do it. Just try it. See what's going to happen. And when you believe in yourself, the second thing that's going to happen is that you're going to take more action. And that's exactly what the most successful people do. They just take a ridiculous amount of action. They take more action than everybody else. They're out there working hard and they take action towards their goals. I see too many times when people, they say they want something and then they take action against it. They're saving up to invest money to, create a passive income, and yet they spend $1,000 on a vacation. Well, when you do that, I don't understand. Are you saving to invest or are you saving to go on vacation? If vacation's your goal, God bless, congratulations, you just got it. But if it's not, what are you doing? Take more action that moves you towards your goals as opposed to away from your goals. Now, people say this all the time in different ways too. When you talk about taking action towards your goals, people talk about working 24/7, hustle and grind, wake up early. Early bird gets the worm, as my dad used to say when we were kids. I used to wake up at 6 a.m. on Saturdays. And you know what? I love getting up early because I get shit done. But what is it for you? Whatever it is, whether it's staying up late. Sometimes I stay up late to get shit done because guess what? You've got to take a ton of action towards your goals if you truly want to accomplish anything in life. Now, that's if you want to be massively successful. The third thing that I see people do, and this is one of the most important things. I mean, obviously everything's important. You got to believe in yourself because if you don't, you'll never even try. And then you've got to take action because if you don't take action, you live in the what if zone, right? We can't measure what ifs. We can only measure results. And that's why action's so important. But the third thing that people do is that they reshape failure to empower themselves. They reshape their failures so that they can empower themselves. You hear it all the time. Failure is not an endpoint. It's just a beginning. A failure is merely a lesson that is teaching me something. Failure, I look at failure as lessons. I look at failure as, okay, that's what not to do. I look at failure as good. Now I know what not to do. Now I can focus on what I should be doing. Everybody I've ever talked to, I always ask them, how do you define failure? And they never define failure as what failure is defined in the dictionary. They never define failure as being the complete end. They never define failure as their identity, as being a failure. They always reshape failure to empower themselves. And that is an extremely powerful perception. That is an extremely powerful way to look at the world. You know why? Because it allows them to grab an empowering meaning from what is usually a disempowering event in their life, and then that motivates them, that drives them to do more. You see, if Michael Jordan had given up when he got cut from his high school basketball team, he never would have became the greatest basketball player to ever live. He was able to take that failure, internalize it, use it as motivation to become the hardest working basketball player, and then go on to become one of the best in the world. So what kind of failure could you look at in your life? I wanted to talk to you guys about developing this, because if you don't have this yet, if you don't feel successful yet, you can right now. You got to write down some beliefs that you can do it. If you don't believe that you can learn something, you need to step back outside yourself and realize that everything up to this point that you are good at, it took time. It took time to learn. There's this thing by Malcolm Gladwell in his book Outliers where he talks about the 10,000 hour rule. And it's basically based on a study where they say it takes 10,000 hours of practice to become an expert in anything. So, I don't know what it is about us adults where we think we should just be good at everything the first time we try it. You got to put the time in. You got to believe in yourself. You got to believe that if you put the time in, if you put the work in, you are capable of doing it. And once you start to believe, that's when you take more action. That's when you see things differently. You start looking for ways to make things happen. You start embracing this habit of action. I love being a man of action. And I encourage you to be a man or woman of action. You know why? That's a habit. That's an identity. That is something that helps you move towards your goals. I like to take more action than do thinking. Yes, do thinking. I know that sounds weird. It sounds weird to me. But what I'm talking about is people literally just sit there and think for days. I'd rather take action and measure the results, not the what ifs. And then finally, you got to reshape failure. You got to reshape the meaning failure gives to you so that it empowers you. Because if failure empowers you, then you will never quit. And if you never quit, guess what? You never fail. What an amazing formula for success. Never quit and you'll never fail. If you never stop trying, you will be successful eventually. Whether it takes you 10 months or 10 fucking years, you will be successful. I've been on this journey of life for 32 wonderful years. And each year, I'm always amazed at how much I learn and how much patience I've got to have in the long run to be successful. I have so many different plans for success, but guess what? One of them is, doesn't matter how long it takes. Whether it's 10 months or 10 years, I'm fucking doing it. But that's the way I look at failure. It empowers me because I know I'll never quit, and that's why I'll be successful. And that's what a lot of these successful people do. They never, ever stop trying. They never stop believing in themselves. And I'm not saying you can't battle self-doubt every now and then, but at the end of the day, you got to go to bed knowing that you can do it, knowing that you can learn to do something, that you can find a way, and then just go take action to get there. And no matter what happens, whether you fail or succeed, you never quit. These are 3 of the traits that I have seen everybody from all the different common pathways to success embrace, embody, and live by on a daily basis. If you want to be more successful, no matter the path you're on, I encourage you to write down these 3 traits now and start to embrace them. Write down that you're going to believe in yourself. Write down that you're going to take more action towards your goals. And write down that failure is merely a stepping stone to success. Failure is not an end, it's a beginning. Failure is a lesson to teach you what not to do, to lead you towards the path of success. A lot of my failures taught me many lessons that later I used to become more successful. And you can too. Guys, becoming successful takes time in anything. You've got to put the work in. So I want you to embrace these 3 traits and be on your path to be successful in every area of your life. And a little bit of teaser for the next couple weeks of episodes. I wanted to just let you guys know what to expect a little bit. We're going to have a guy on here who raised over $1 billion in capital, literally teaching us how to pitch anyone and anything. And then we'll be talking to people who have created passive income with these real estate investments that really require little to no attention. And we're going to learn these tools and strategies. If you enjoyed the show and learned something of value, the one ask that I have is please go subscribe, whether you're on iTunes, Spotify, or YouTube. And if you leave us a 5-star rating or review, that absolutely helps us get our message out there. Each week, I'm going to continue to interview amazing people, and we're going to break down their tools and strategies to help get you real results. Feel free to visit the website, unleashsuccess.com, and subscribe to our newsletter so you can get updates each week. And remember, knowing is not enough. Knowledge alone is not power. Action is. Because action is the only way you're going to get the results you want in life and truly live the life of your dreams. So take some action, subscribe to the podcast today, and get ready to unleash success in you.